I probably have the same. There are 19 cycles. The last arrest was January the 22nd, 2025, out of Fulton County for a probation violation. Um, there's a there are felony convictions, one in 2012 out of Clayton County for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm during commission of a felony. One in 2006 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute and trafficking ecstasy and obstruction of an officer. And there was one in 2009 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. And there was one in 2004 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. There's an additional one in 2004 for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. So one misdemeanor conviction that was in 2017 out of Clayton County for battery family violence. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kim.
Judge, I wanted to ask my client, did you have any questions off the record you need to ask me?
No.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. He says he's good.
Okay, Judge, my client is 41 years old, as he stated. He works two jobs. One is a Domino's delivery driver, and I believe he's wearing the shirt for the first job, and he's also a sanitation worker for a company called Valley Living. But Judge, he accepts the offer from the state, and we hope that you will go along with it as well. I'm hoping that you will give him a behavioral incentive date. I'm understanding he's on probation. If we could run that concurrent to this current case. It's here in Fulton County.
Okay. I'm going to talk with probation in just a sec. Anything else from you, Ms. Kim?
No, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Simpson, is Mr. Murph on probation? For what case?
C 11747.
All right. And did this case create a revocation event?
Yes.
Okay. So that's our, this isn't, his plea isn't going to trigger another revocation. Okay. How much time is left on the 13 SC case?
Has 2 years, 1 month, 15 days remaining.
Okay.
Judge, if one thing about it, he's also completed about 90 hours of community service, so I believe he's fulfilled that condition as well.
How did he complete 90 hours of community service in connection with this case? That was part of the revocation?
That was part of the prior case, I believe.
Okay, I'm not able to look at the prior case. It is listed as confidential in the system. It can't be a first offender. This would have been, was it a Judge Glanville case? It would be, because that's how Judge McAfee ended up with it. It just, I can't get in the docket.
Judge McAfee signed a consent order in March of this year.
Okay. What were the conditions?
He did stipulate and is revoked 3 months from credit is not served. He was actually ordered to 500 hours of community service.
500.
And drug and alcohol eval, and any treatment, follow-up treatment. That was all that he was ordered.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
500. Where are you doing your community service?
I actually once a week I donate like food or school supply because, like I said, I work 2 jobs, so I'm unable to come to the office and do community service. So I have to donate.
And how does that work? Like, if it's 2 pizzas, you get 10 hours?
No, I have to buy perishable items
Okay.
or school supplies and bring the receipt, and they give me credit
And where do you bring them?
to the probation office.
Is there some probation officer who out of the back of his truck is selling fresh produce that you bring?
That's the program they have at the probation office now.
Have you heard of this, Ms. Simpson?
At Fulton County Probation.
That you can, if
Oh, yeah.
community service is,
Yeah, like, because in fact, we just got an email about it, today. Our field office provides, where supervisors can do some of their community service hours there at the Atlanta office, because we opened up to serving the homeless there, and so it allows them to get some of that research time.
Okay, well, what Mr. Murph is saying is a little different. It's that because he doesn't have the hours available, because he works 2 jobs, somehow he's able to help stock the food pantry there. And by making that contribution in kind, they'll say, all right, that's 5 hours.
They'll allow them, if they can't use what's on that list,
Uh-huh.
they'll allow them to participate into our 1 hour research program.
Okay. Well, that's helpful to know. I don't think I'm gonna add community service hours to the 500 that you are working down. What are you at now?
Like 92.
You have 92 left, or you've done 92?
Done 92.
All right, so you have
It's more.
408 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just starting in March though.
What was this case from 2013? What were the kinds of charges? Do you remember?
Just possession. That's all I can remember.
More drugs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Somehow that didn't show up on the state's notice. Interesting. Okay. Mr. Murph, I find there's a factual basis for your plea. Your Impala and a Domino's driver had become of interest to the police based on tips. I'll note for the record, you are wearing a Domino shirt here in court today, connecting you at least to that line of work. I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary. Knowing means you've understood the things we talked about. Voluntary means no one forced you to enter this plea. Do you agree with those things?
Yes.
All right. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act, which means simply that while you're on probation, if you have a technical violation, and I'm making this up, but let's say you tested positive for marijuana, 1 positive drug screen doesn't mean you have to come back to see me. You and probation would figure out what the consequences of that would be. But if it's more significant, you get arrested again, anything like this, that comes back to me and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. Ms. Kim, can someone in my office electronically sign the indictment for you?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Ms. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Murph, is it okay if we electronically put your signature on the indictment for your guilty plea?
Yes.
We'll do that. So I am going to follow the negotiated resolution. Let me check one last thing. Okay. And I will sentence you to 5 years probation on count 1 and 12 months probation on counts 2, 3, and 4. They will all run concurrently with each other. That's it. No community service. You already got your high school degree, so you don't need a GED. What you really need to do is focus on sanitation and pizza delivery and not the 3rd line of work. Because I just think you're in South Fulton's crosshairs. They think you're in the mix. And if you get pulled over and you got something in your car, even if there's 3 other people in the car, they're going to say, ah, man, that must be Murph's stuff.
Okay.
This sentence will run concurrently with your 13 SC sentence. I guess I'm going to add this condition. Any community service that you do not complete in the 13 SC case rolls over into this case. So you have 500 hours left and you've got 2 years left in that probation. If we fast forward and I was doing what I could, but I still have 100 hours left, that case is going to close out and that balance slides over to this case.
Okay, good.
I'm not adding to it, but if you don't finish, I'm not encouraging you to slow down. Because probation in that other case may say, hey, you only have 6 months left, you've got 100 hours, you're going to need to, we're going to take out a warrant or who knows what. So this will be the backstop for that. Anything else, Ms. Davis?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Simpson, Mr. Murph already has a probation officer. Do you need to give him any reporting instructions? What does he need to do?
For him to contact his current officer so that they can go over the conditions of this sentence.
Okay. Who's your officer?
Miss Do. Shoot, they be switching my office so many times. Newbie, yes, this newbie.
Okay. So you're going to get some info about when you need to reach out to her to say, I'm back, new case, 5 more years together. and let her know that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ms. Kim, anything else?
Judge, would you consider a behavioral incentive date to kind
I
of?
did consider it, but based on where we are and this other case and all that community service, I'm gonna leave things as is. And I'm hoping, that, Mr. Murph's done, getting arrested.
I believe it is, Judge. I mean,
Okay. All right.
thank you.
That's it.
May you be excused?
Yes, you both are excused.
Thank you.
Well, that took a turn. We're back with Mr. Nathan Murph, and yes, he's still rocking that Domino's uniform. If the last hearing gave us a preview, this one filled in all the gaps and then some. Judge McBurney presided again, and the courtroom tone stayed calm, businesslike, but with just enough dry humor to remind us why folks keep tuning in. The subject of the day, Mr. Murph's sentencing for possession of oxycodone and related offenses, plus a healthy dose of conversation about community service, pizza, and how not to end up in the crosshairs of the South Fulton Police Department again. Miss Kim, Murph's attorney, advocated clearly and respectfully. She confirmed that her client accepted the state's plea deal, 5 years probation, no jail time, and no additional community service beyond what was already in play. And that's where things got interesting. Mr. Murph is also on a separate probation case dating back to 2013 that required 500 hours of community service. He's chipped away at it, logging about 92 hours, but Judge McBurney wanted clarity on where and how this was happening. Mr. Murph explained that he works 2 jobs, including sanitation, so instead of physical labor, he donates school supplies and food to the probation office pantry. You could almost see the judge's eyebrow raise. If it's 2 pizzas, you get 10 hours, he quipped, tongue firmly in cheek. Turns out, yes, probation does allow in-kind contributions, and Murph is using that route to fulfill his obligations. Legitimate? Yes. Unusual? Also, yes. And to his credit, Murph stayed composed and polite throughout the exchange, even when navigating a few skeptical follow-ups from the bench. The judge accepted the plea and laid out the terms with clarity. 5 years probation on the primary count and 12 months each on the remaining 3, all concurrent. No extra service hours added, but with a clever legal nudge. Any hours Murph doesn't finish under the old case will roll over into this one. Basically, probation debt consolidation courtroom edition. The judge also denied a request for a behavioral incentive date, noting the still open case and outstanding hours. The message was subtle but clear. Finish what's on your plate before asking for dessert. It's worth noting that Judge McBurney didn't miss the symbolic irony. He reminded Mr. Murph that while his jobs, sanitation, and pizza delivery are admirable, the third line of work allegedly involving narcotics needs to be off the menu for good, and that wasn't said cruelly. It was direct, cautionary, and grounded in the reality that officers now know his car, his job, and his history. Get pulled over again, even with others in the car, and chances are that must be Murph's stuff. In the end, Murph walked out with no time to serve. A chance to clean up what's left of his community service burden, and some good old-fashioned judicial advice. Hopefully, this is the last we see of that Domino shirt in court. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.